Hey everyone, it's Sickle Warrior, and I'm married now. Yay! I just wanted to respond to, I think it was Desiree's question. She wanted to know how my flight went. I was really worried and nervous before I left. I was really concerned that flying for such a long distance that I would have an attack on the plane. And I had expressed some of my trepidation and trying to get oxygen and all the stuff that I was doing before I left. So actually, I wasn't able to get the oxygen. The company that was supposed to give me oxygen for the flight, they said that they only do it if you request it and you have your prescription into them 2 weeks in advance. And I was requesting it about 3 days before my flight, so it just wasn't happening. So I just had to take a step of faith and get on that flight. And I'm really glad I did, because I had the most amazing experience of my life. It was absolutely fantastic. If you have never been to Africa, put it on your list and go. You have to do it. I mean, I'm from Nigeria, so I'm saying that, but put it on your bucket list if you're not from Nigeria, from Africa. So anyway, going with the first flight, I pre-medicated, and I took a long-acting just in case. I took Oxycontin, 10 milligrams. I hydrated super well before I left. And then, of course, there was no way I could avoid the stress of traveling, so I just kind of had to roll with that. But once I got on the flight, I made sure I just kept drinking and walking periodically. I mean, I was drinking so much, I had to go to the bathroom. So the first 5-hour flight, no problem. We got to Atlanta. Now it's up for a 10-hour flight. And that was actually pretty good, except I was really cold on the plane, so I had to request like an extra blanket. I didn't feel bad when I landed. I felt great, but it didn't hit me until a couple of days later. And I think it was combined with flying, as well as I wasn't drinking as much water as I should have been. I was drinking the same amount as I drink in the US, but I should have drank more because, hey, I'm in a tropical climate. I mean, 1 + 1, duh. So I wasn't drinking enough water, and I got super dehydrated, and I actually ended up having to go to the hospital. And that is a story for another day. But people in America, I really must say this, do not bitch about the hospital in America, because other countries have it way worse than we do. Okay, like we have it pretty cushy. It was definitely an experience going to the hospital in Nigeria. And I'd been to the hospital in Nigeria when I was a teenager, and I remembered it, but having it now, after I've experienced America, it's just, it was definitely a challenge for me. I only stayed in the hospital for 24 hours. I could not spend more than 2 nights there. I told the doctor, I was like, I'm really sorry. I have to go home. So I was so we arrived on the 6th, and I think I was sick until about the 10th or the 11th, and it wasn't like serious pain, but it was enough that I did have to take pain medicine. So I did pass the first 4 days in like this weird haze. But after that, the rest of the trip was wonderful. I had no other issues. I wasn't sick. I had no other problems. Coming back was easier than I thought it would be. And when I knew that when I came back, I had to work the next day, so I couldn't afford to fall sick. Pretty much, I had that in my mind. So I think that really helped to just get me in a more active state of mind, and just make sure that on the plane I was doing the right things, because I was walking, I was hydrating, I was not stressed, I was eating right, I was doing all the right things that you should do. I was taking my Nicosan, which is something that I should be doing anyway. Took folic acid, took all my little vitamin preparations and arginine and everything. So I had no issues. But I know that a lot of people do have concerns where they do fly, and it's good for us to be cautious about it, but I don't think that you should allow that to limit you. So I've flown many times, and sometimes I fall sick, sometimes I don't. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna like stop living my life just because, hey, if I get on this flight, I might fall sick. What if I don't fall sick? I mean, if I decided not to go to Nigeria, I would have missed out on getting married there, and the best 3 weeks that I've had in recent years. So I mean, sometimes you do have to make that educated guess, and you do have to kind of push yourself more than you give yourself credit for. And sometimes you just have to take the risk. And so what if you fall sick? So what? I fell sick in Nigeria. I'm back. I didn't die. And everything's great. So just don't be afraid. And if you want to go for a trip, just make sure you follow the principles of flying as outlined on the Sickle Cell Warriors website, sicklecellwarriors.com, and pray and you should be okay. All right, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.